Welcome back to the 104R video series. This video is, unfortunately, one of the longer ones. In the last video, I went over why you should care about your 104R. Now I'm going to clarify what the real purpose of the form is. The USAC Form 104-R, titled the Planned Academic Program Worksheet, is essentially a contract between the student, the school, and the Department of Defense, proxied by your ROTC cadre. Your 104R certifies how many terms you are allocated to complete your degree. Please note that I have used the word allocated and not authorized in this statement. By completing the 104R, you are initially certifying and then recertifying each term that the courses you are taking and plan to take in the future will result in a complete degree after you have completed the number of semesters you have been allotted. In other words, you are expected to graduate on the date indicated on page 2 of your 104R in Block 9. It is worth clarifying that while most cadets inherently understand that they cannot take more semesters, there have been cases where a cadet tried to graduate early. This is also not allowed. I will not bore you with the semantics of these situations. Just know that it is easier for you in the long run to work within the number of terms you have been allocated. While you follow your academic progression as a cadet, your 104R gets updated each term with the number of credits you have completed, your updated GPA, any changes to your curriculum, expected or unforeseen, your signature indicating that you have made the updates, a signature from a representative of the school indicating that you are still on track to graduate, and a signature from your professor of military science. Please note, the deadline for 104R submission should be the school's add drop date. This is because you cannot make any changes after that point. Your cadre's job is to make sure that your 104R looks right. They can check the math and tell if you're taking the right amount of credits. They can make sure you've input your GPA correctly, etc. Imagine, however, if your ROTC instructor had to know all of the graduation requirements for every cadet's major or concentration offered at your school, and then they had to cross-check your 104R to make sure you were taking the right classes at the right time. Remember, the required curriculum to obtain a degree for an ROTC cadet can be broken down into 3 parts. The first is your school's Veritas curriculum. These are the core classes that everyone at your school has to take. The second part is your major or concentration curriculum. These are the courses that are required for your specific degree. The final part is your ROTC curriculum, which consists of the military science courses as well as a U.S. military history course. Let's be realistic. Your cadre likely work hard to keep you out of trouble, but would you expect Captain Smith or Sergeant First Class Doe to know that Public Speaking 310 fulfills a Veritas requirement, or that Business 322 has only ever been offered in the fall term, but you have it written in for the spring term of your senior year? My program's RU has specifically asked me to state the following. It is the cadet's responsibility to graduate on time. This is why I said in the previous video that failure to fill out the 104R correctly could result in you falling through the cracks and not being eligible to commission on time. And so, this is where your academic advisor comes in. Your school pays your advisor to advise you. Make them earn their pay and don't feel bad about it. Your advisor should be the one reviewing the courses listed in Block 7 to ensure that everything you need to do to complete your degree is accounted for. That is what they, or the school representative, are signing for in Block 12. A completed 104R becomes a semi-contractual document where the student, school, and cadre share a piece of accountability. An error on this document essentially constitutes a lie, which, for lack of a better term, is the equivalent of fraud. Like the example above, if you put a required class in your final term and then find it's never been offered in the spring, we would look back at this document to determine who was responsible for the mistake. Furthermore, it could be used as evidence in disenrollment proceedings to determine if the cadet in question should pay back their scholarship. Who do you think the government would find at fault? Thank you if you've made it to this point in the video. This is one of the longer ones, unfortunately, but I hope that I've provided enough context to better your understanding of the 104R. The series starts to pick up with the next couple of videos, but there will still be a handful where I will attempt to simplify context notions for your consumption. Good luck, and I'll see you in the next video.